Welcome to Toffee TV. This is the final word. Everton 0, Leicester City 1. This video is sponsored by OneFootball. OneFootball's app makes it easy to keep up to date with transfer news, stats, scores in one place. To download the OneFootball app, click the link in the description. I'm sure there's a lot better things on there than there was at this game yesterday. Let's just, right, and I might sound like a broken record, and I know you've brought it up, but my God, New Year's Day footy is absolutely shite. Who honestly thinks at the powers that be, right, that kicking off at 12:30 on New Year's Day is a good idea, right? Now, this is not a moan about, Sky pay you the money and all that. I understand that. I'm not someone who sits there going, Sky's a joke. Sky pay Everton bills and have for years, so I've got no problem with that. But I just mean generally in terms of game of footy, 12:30 ensures that the ground is going to be absolutely dead flat. People are not going to turn up. Simply out of logistics, some people getting there on New Year's Day.
There was loads in the park end, loads of spaces.
But look, just simply out of logistics, getting things like...
And it was sold out.
Yeah,
so
getting things like buses and things like that. I don't know whether they picked it because they thought, because of maybe Leicester's connections in Thailand and things like that, that people in those countries might watch the game. But I honestly, for the life of me, this is the one thing I don't understand when they pick games is, like, why would you think that was an attraction? Why would you put a game at that time? Who's watching?
No matter what game it would have been. It's 12:30 on. Fair enough, you want to put the thingy games on at 5:30, Cardiff, Tottenham. Fair enough, people have woke up by then maybe. But I've got a problem with Everton with this game. A real problem with us accepting to play on that day. There was 3 games yesterday. 6 today. And there's a little tiny game tomorrow.
You know what? Exactly. In terms of, Everton have just had to play 4 games in 9 days. That's ridiculous.
It's the record of the least amount of shortest ever in Premier League history. So, I know everyone... but couldn't someone at Everton have gone, no, that's not happening. That is not happening. We'll play... Alright, maybe we'll play the R5 kickoff, or... No, just we'll play on the second. We'll play because at the end of the day, this is unfair on our players. We've had to have the shortest. We've had 2 away trips in the middle, and you're asking us to play. Someone at Everton should have just gone, no, it's not happening. Let someone else play at R12. We don't want to be on telly. I just don't think we should have played. I don't think Spurs should have played. Tottenham are in a championship, or they're big outsiders in the race for the Premier League, but they're up there. They played Saturday. They played exactly the same as us, and they're going for the league. Everton and Tottenham should have balls and gone. So you want us to play 4 o'clock on the 23rd, and then you want us to play. All right, Tottenham didn't, but Everton are playing 12:30. It's just nonsense. And we said this before the Spurs game. With the games coming up, a few of these games are going to be horrendous. And what it's done is it's wrecked Everton's season almost. I think because we just played 2 games where the players look like they couldn't run. Yeah.
Well, certainly 1.5. Going. I know you did the stuff on Brighton, but certainly going into the second half of Brighton, you could see we had no legs.
There was nothing.
And then in this game, you looked at us and
I don't know about you. I knew at 5 minutes into the game we weren't going to win the game.
Well, I thought
there was nothing.
I thought it was going to be 0-0 because both teams were just like knocking it around. There was nothing in the game. And that's again what are you offering as a product? What are you saying? And this is why I don't understand why the winter break is coming in later on in January. I just think it's honestly. I know like the TV deal demands Christmas games.
Well, we said there's a way to fix it. Where everyone still gets the break, there's a way to fix it. You can have games. They don't put all the live games on, do they? All of the games aren't live. So therefore, if you want teams to play Boxing Day, the 27th, 28th, just play 2 games a day and give everyone a proper break. There's no reason why Everton couldn't have played Boxing Day at Burnley and then yesterday against Leicester and missed the Brighton game out. Don't give me, there's no thing. And if this year they scrapped replays in FA Cup. So It's nonsense.
And they've started changing things around as well. Let's get it right. They've started. If you look at the Champions League teams now, none of them play on the Sunday. They all play. That's why they brought that 7:45 kickoff on the Saturday. So that the last Champions League team normally Spurs can play and no one plays on the Sunday, so it gives them a break. So and also don't give me this nonsense about they shouldn't be tired. The human beings, they're elite athletes doesn't mean anything. Elite athlete means actually that they run more and it's harder for them. You're asking lads to it's percentages, little tiny percentages, and that's not letting them off. I'm just saying you're asking people to go out and give a level of performance, the same level, every 2 days. You're not going to get it.
But you're right. I mean, look at us as a fan base, right? You can go on about the players. Well, what's the excuse for us being absolutely silent for 2 hours? Fatigue. Which is what we were. Because people are knackered and haven't woke up and stuff. So it happens all the way. You can tell. I can't remember a New Year's Day game at Goodison Park, right, being rip-roaring. Last year, Man United was flat as a friggin' pancake.
That was not the second.
Whatever the game it was, right, it was United last year. Yeah. It was horrendous. It was silent. It was crap. Everton were crap. The game was crap. United stepped it up 5% and won 2-0. It was awful. This the same. Yeah. Absolute nonsense game of football. It was just dreadful. They were terrible. Everton were terrible.
No one wanted to be there.
Leicester didn't want to be there. But, oh my! It was just. And as a product, for people who are paying a lot of money, because it costs money to go, doesn't it? Season tickets, £600, whatever. When you're buying that, you're buying it in the. Well, no, you're not. You're buying it now, aren't you? The way it works.
You're always buying
it. You're thinking that you're getting everyone at the peak level. It's going to be a good game of football, and then Sky come along, or whatever, come along and bounce these games one after the other. The product's getting worse and worse, and resulting in yesterday, the game was flat. I don't even think anyone could be arsed when. I think everyone literally was just like, hurry up, blow the whistles, let's go home, because it was just grim. And I'm credit to Leicester, they've had a good Christmas. Everton never have a good Christmas, let's be honest. But Leicester have had it, beat Chelsea.
They haven't even had a good December, have they?
We've been on it. Listen,
Jimmy Gabriel.
Yeah, it is a Jimmy Gabriel, other than the fact that we beat Burnley. But ever since Pickford dropped the bollock at Anfield, it's been going one way, hasn't it? That's how it feels, and we need something to almost.
But talking about the players and the amount of games. Listen, obviously it is a bad run, and some people have got their knives out for Marco Silva. But what I would say is, even though not entertaining that, just at this stage, I do feel that he's made genuine mistakes in the last few weeks. I think we've gone through the 4 games, and I think we've only played 14 players, I think there's only 14 players that we've played, and I just wonder whether he should have maybe dipped into the squad a little bit more and said so, because the way I look at it, I look at someone like Andre Gomez, who's probably never played this amount of games in such a short time, and I look at him and I see a player that when he was at his best, going into that derby game, he was absolutely flying. He was running the midfield, helping us play the way we were playing. And I think it's no coincidence that as his quality has dropped off, the quality in the team has dropped off. His tempo has dropped off, so the tempo in the team has dropped off. And I look at him and I just think to myself, would he have benefited from having maybe 2 games out, maybe the Burnley game and maybe the Brighton game, and someone else gone in there who mightn't be as good as him? Let's say Tom Davies, let's just say. Gomez recharges the batteries and then comes back. Because all I've seen is a player play 2 games, be pretty poor in both games, and is going to be just as even more tired now. I just think to myself, is that where the manager has made a little bit of a mistake there, where he should have really just gone, right, we need to change things up a little bit, and quality is going to drop anyway, so we might as well rest a couple of players.
Yeah, listen, I'm defending, in fact, so much so that I just stay off Twitter as much as I can, because I am defending Silva, because It's got, to me, Everton's problems aren't Marco Silva. Not a chance. But he has made mistakes. I'm not saying he's perfect, because he's not. Of course he's made mistakes. And the Andre Gomez one is, I'd have never played him at Brighton. The lad come off against Spurs. I got told he was touch and go whether he'd make any of the fixtures. That's what Everton thought that night after Tottenham, because he was injured and it was holding his calf and it was a little bit of a worry. And then he played against Burnley and it was like, oh, brilliant. And he played well against Burnley. Now, if he'd have kept the same team at Burnley, if he kept the same team from Burnley at Brighton, I'd have gone, well, I can understand why he's played that, because he played really well the other day. But he didn't, he changed it. But he left Gomez in and dropped Gylfi.
Yeah.
And you were like, one's just passed the fitness test to play, and the other one hasn't, and is out the team. So really, the flip should have been, Gomez shouldn't have played the Brighton for me. Should have left him out the side totally and played either Gylfi in there or Tom in there. So you're right, that's probably where he's made a couple of mistakes, you know. But people are picking on everything he's done. You know, people ask for changes, right? No, but what I'm saying is, right, people ask for changes, and when he's made those changes, they're still moaning. We all said Coleman needed to come off the side. He came off the side. We all said, you know, Niasse came in from nowhere. Tosun was up. So he's doing some things that we expect, and he's doing other things that he should be doing. He's doing wrong.
I think the problem is that maybe a lot's getting lost in the noise. So it all sounds like everyone is just giving him grief. But I think there are question marks over how he's handled the games.
Of course, yeah.
And that other stuff should be put to the side. But I do think, like you've just said, for me, Brighton, that was the game to play Calvin Lewin up front. That was the game where you knew it was going to be a battle against Duncan and Duffy, and you want someone like Calvin Lewin in there.
And
for
it's
that
a counter-attacking game.
Exactly, yeah. And maybe Richarlison at home against Leicester was more of a better fit for him. Yeah. And I think that's just where, for me, he's just got it wrong. I think he should have introduced more players into it as well. I think
we all thought McCarthy was gone. Lookman would have played, but he's injured, obviously. But
another one, and again, people might disagree with me, but go on, you have a point to that. There might, over the last 4 games, was there not room for Baines to play a game? Do you know what? I just look at players like that and I think, is there not room to play? Dean's been all right. But again, though, as the games have gone on, you've looked at him and gone, is he suffering from that little bit of tiredness? Does he just need freshening up a little bit? And I just think it's this idea of saying, oh bloody hell, we know who our best players are, but if you squeeze them and you squeeze them and you squeeze them, you're gonna lose the quality. Yeah. And then what's the point? What's the difference? This is something we did wrong last year early on. Is that it wasn't squad rotation, we just didn't have the replacements. So as players got more tired, you've seen the quality drop off, and then some of them Baines got injured, ironically. And I just think that's where he's made mistakes this year. He obviously doesn't fancy some of the players in his squad. No. And it's decided, well, I'd rather just stick with the players we've got. I just think that's irresponsible.
Well, this is what happened with Moisey. Only Moisey didn't have any option. He literally had 13 players, David Moyes, because he had no money to get, so he'd play the same team all the time, and then we'd have injuries or we'd just lose games we shouldn't, and it was frustrating because when those players were fresh, they were good players. This Everton side is a very good side. Some people will watch this and go, behave it, but it is a good side. We've seen when they're fresh what a good side they potentially are, but when they're tired, they're not a good side, and there's not enough goals in them. That's what holds them back.
But I think the Burnley game showed that we can play against teams that we're supposed to beat and be very comfortable. I thought the formation that day was brilliant. I thought it worked excellently with the narrow strikers and the 3 at the back, and there looked like a lot of energy in that team. And then the next couple of games, you're looking, going, where's that energy gone? And I think I just wonder. I mean, why? Why was Tosun not in the squad for a couple of games? That's strange to me. I find that very strange.
Whether he's not trained well, or whether he's...
But he's another one that you think to yourself, alright, Brighton away, stick Tosun up front and let's see what he can do against them. Even if he just wears them out, or has a good run round, he's fresh. yesterday maybe.
He should have. Well, look, early in the season when we were very good, or we looked exciting, he was part of it. He was a key element of it. It was just that Richarlison went up front because we needed a bit more pace. I'm not saying, you know, it's a tough one because as the season's gone on, you've seen the way he wants to play, and Cenk doesn't really probably fit that. But at the moment, everyone's slowing down. So those 2 games were 2 of the slowest games I've ever seen. Brighton and Leicester. Yesterday's game, there was nothing in it. There was no pace in that game.
No.
It was dreadful.
There's one piece of pace and it won the game.
And that won the game. And so he probably would. You could have played. The other one for me is Walcott.
Yeah. He's played.
Theo had a great. Hang on. Theo had a decent game at Burnley and looked a threat again. Because he was going through the middle a bit more and they didn't know how to pick him up. And B, because we played narrow 3 up front. We had a proper 3. So he looked more of a threat. At Brighton, he was horrendous. He was terrible. And he left them on for 90 minutes. And then he started again, yes. And you're like, surely, knowing Theo's qualities, right? He's pacey. So let's start someone else and introduce him with 25 minutes to go, half an hour to go, when they're getting tired. And you've got this fresh pair of legs coming on. And he's not playing well. Players should only stay in the team if they're playing really well. James Coleman rightly came out the side yesterday because he hasn't been playing well. But other players have stayed in who aren't playing, and you're going. And then Richarlison, whether you think he's a striker or not, at this moment in time, he's our best striker because Dominic Calvert-Lewin, bless him, doesn't ever look like he's going to score a goal. The kid, I'm sorry, I don't even know if he touched the ball yesterday. He had one of his worst games I've ever seen him have for Everton, and that was up against 2 centre-halves who know the game, but 2 centre-halves who give the ball away more than I've seen a pair of centre-halves give the ball away, other than ours. And he didn't really do a thing. Tosin comes on and he had a header near the end. Other than that, he didn't really do anything. So the frustration probably from Silver is these lads are getting half a go and not taking the chance. But I think with Richarlison, you're putting him on the left. He was dreadful. But then down the middle, at least he's a bit of a threat. Where if you keep moving people, I don't think they know where they're playing, and that's thing he did as well. I think he's just got lost.
I think the manager's game management leaves a lot to be desired. I really do. I've got real problems with his subs as well. At Brighton and yesterday, I just looked at.
But what would you have done yesterday differently?
I just think
when I looked at that bench, there was no.
No, I know.
We needed Bernard should all.
Yeah,
I'd play Bernard.
But I looked at them and they made a sub at half time just to inject something into the game, and I don't ever see him doing that. At Brighton, everybody knew that goal was coming. At Brighton, everybody knew. We said this the other week about a game. You can see when something's going to happen, and he doesn't see it. And I just wondered that about him. I'm thinking back to last year as well with him, and I'm not. And I'm thinking this is more up to do with his style. Is that we're having the same drop off, like Watford had the drop off last year. Now it might be slightly different because of what happened and us trying to make him more manager.
And they lost half the team.
And they had
2 injuries.
But you can see that his style of play asks a lot of the players, asks a hell of a lot of the players, because we were the best team in the Premier League for pressing from the front. That's dropped off. So you must need a lot of energy to do that.
Look at the other fella across the park, the first season. In fact, his first 2 seasons, they started off flying, everyone was made up. Then the next one, they didn't win a game, and the second season, they were going, and he didn't win a game in 10, or they had 1 win in 10 because they just got knackered. And that's what we don't know if that'll happen this season from that style of play, which is all action, running around. I think they've tried to change it slightly and not be as vigorous in their running this season, Liverpool, and it's helping them a bit, but it remains to be seen whether they can carry it through. Ours is, we've got half a team that's new, right, and half a team that's new, playing in the fastest league in the world, playing a pressing game that demands a lot, might be a big ask. You're right, it might be that we need. Is it what you got to ask yourself with the question is the drop off due to the manager tactically? Now people go, he's got no plan B. I mean, what does that even mean, no plan B? Just someone else went on about tactics the other day. Well, the most tactically astute manager probably around is Sam Allardyce. Whether we like it or not, that fella can take a team that's fucking grim and go and shut out one of the best. Like last year when we went to Anfield, they were incredible, Liverpool. They scored 7s and everything. And he went there with Cuco Martina and got a draw and limited them to nothing. So if you want a tactically astute manager, then we should have just kept Sam Allardyce, right? If you pick a team and you play a certain way, the players have got to carry it out. Pep Guardiola, go and watch anything about him. It's all you keep doing it, you keep doing it. You make mistakes, you get it, you do it, so you don't make mistakes. He done it the other week. He changed this midfield. It could have cost them the league. He put Phil Foden, John Stones and Gundogan as his midfield 3 against dogs like James McArthur and Mihailovic with Palace, and Palace beat them. Because he had a midfield that wasn't capable of against a big organised midfield, and then he got beat again. And then all of a sudden you're looking at them going, if they don't beat Liverpool this week, they're gone. So even the best manager in the world, if your players don't perform, I agree with you. To only use, where's James McCarthy? Now I'm not saying James McCarthy would have made any difference yesterday, but he's fresh, and he runs around the pitch. Garner was great yesterday at nicking the ball, the interceptions. How many times did he pass the ball to that play?
It's not just yesterday though. You know, Garner. You had you've got Brighton and you've got yesterday. You've got 2 games in the space of 3 days or whatever it is. You've got 4 days. Sorry, that's something where you can go. Well, there's a play for that game and there's a play for that game. I don't know. I think that's a very. I think that's. He keeps on saying he's ready to play. So why isn't he in there?
Where's Tom? Whether you like him or not, where is he? High energy, runs around, even if he doesn't.
Well, he was coming on at 0-0 yesterday.
I know, and then they scored. He didn't come on. And you go. And he came on a Burnley on the left, and you're like, what?
But that's what I'm saying, whether you like these players or not, right? It doesn't matter. That's not what matters. What matters is, if you've got a squad of players and you've settled on that squad, whether you think they're good enough or not, you've got to use them in this period.
Why didn't Ash come on Brighton?
Then he's not on the... Why did Chris Mason meet Tolson in the Everton shop? The day before the Brighton game. What's going on?
Did he?
There's a picture of him. It's like, why wasn't he on the bench? Like, that's what I'm saying. Why? That's the only issue I've got with the manager. That and his game management is just a simple fact. Is you've got to, in this period, you've got to look at your squad. Now, he's never been a manager. Let's also remember. I don't think he's ever been the manager in this over Christmas, has he?
He took over now a Hull, didn't he?
Yeah.
Just that.
And he got sacked before.
No, he was Watford and he got sacked.
I thought he got sacked. Oh, right. No. Well, maybe that was his downfall.
Yeah.
That was his downfall at Watford.
Yeah.
So he's probably never had a success.
But he might be looking at our squad, right? And I'm not defending him. I'm just saying that for like reasons why. He might just look and think, you know what? Like you said before. I can't take him off because if we'd have won, maybe if we'd have won a couple more games, I know. No, I'm just saying he might have gone. Well, I'd trust that a bit more.
That's the other problem I've got with the team at the moment, though. Right, last 2 games, Brighton, they've like 1 shot. Leicester have had like 1 shot, right, and they've won both games.
Yeah.
They took the lead and won both games. That to me is once they scored their goals, the game seemed over.
Yeah,
Alright, we huffed and puffed at Brighton and we huffed and puffed yesterday, but we never showed any quality to go and win the game.
No.
And sometimes, and this is where you look at that squad and you think, well, it's not always about quality. It's about lads digging in and saying we're going to get a result from this game. And I don't see enough of that at Everton. I don't see enough players who will roll up their sleeves. Yesterday when it went 1-0, you might as well have blown the whistle then. They might as well. I didn't see anyone from that goal to the end of the game went, right, I'm going to roll up my sleeves and we're going to get something out of this.
I thought the only one who did it was Bernard when he come on.
Oh yeah,
he was the only one who looked like he'd be creating, and that one he put on a plate for Calvert-Lewin was embarrassing. Neither him or Tosin made the way into the box. It was just embarrassing. Poor centre forward play, because you should be ready. You should want to tap in from a yard out. That should be your bread and butter.
Well, one of them needs to go, doesn't he?
One of them just stood back. It's ridiculous, like. But I mean, we made the change. I mean, what annoyed me slightly yesterday with the team was the fact that we played 3 at the back twice on the run, and then it went yesterday, and you're like, okay, we knew Leicester would come and play 1 up front and try to get a draw and see if there was an opportunity to nick it, which is no issue with that whatsoever. It works for them, and with Vardy it's fantastic, and it worked yesterday, so got no problem with Leicester doing that. But if you're playing a formation, okay, it worked with varying, results. We won comfortably at Burnley and we lost at Brighton. But if your players are tired, then surely the likes of Dean and Coleman, and it could have been Kenny yesterday, could have played higher up the pitch at home anyway. Because really, he would argue and say, well, we didn't need 3 centre-backs if they only had 1, so we'd go for it, fair enough. But we were just so deep anyway with the 4, that it made me just think, well, if we'd have just played a 3, we could have played on higher up the pitch and asked some questions of them. Or why not just play 4-4-2 yesterday?
Yeah, I said that
why
in my
really just go 4, play Tossing and Calvert-Lewin, the Charlison wide if you want to play him wide, someone on the other, Walcott even in the other side, start 2 midfielders, play Gylfi and Garner, say to Gomez, go and sit on the bench. We might need you for the last 25 minutes to get on here and get your foot on the ball. Don't have to play him all the time, and it's noticeable now for me. He's been on a downward spiral, I think, since the derby. Gomez, I don't think he's had a good game since the derby, but the last few weeks he's been really off it. His passing yesterday, the amount of time he got caught in possession, just isn't like him, giving the ball away cheaply, because he looked knackered. It's not because he's become a bad player, because he's quite clearly a brilliant player. But
and this is a player, don't forget, this is a player who didn't have a pre-season.
Hasn't had a pre-season, had an injury, he's come back in, was injured 8 days ago, walking on the pitch, only Everton walking on the pitch after half-time, and whacked the ball in. And then you're worried about whether he's going to make any of the games, and he plays in all of the games, and you're going, it's just that kind of thing. But I just like taking Mina out. Well, why have you took him out?
Yeah,
it's just, I don't know. It's just a couple.
No, you're right, because if you play 3 at the back in that game, and you don't, and you have then you have Garner as your insurance with Gylfi in the middle of the park. You say to your full-backs, you can go as high as you want. Then you've got 3 central strikers who are 2 tucked in and 1. Then you've got a threat, haven't you?
But they have to change the way they're playing. If we'd have gone on, look, the first half yesterday, how many, Harry Maguire, I know you like him, but I just watched him yesterday and just thought, Jesus, the amount of times he kicked the ball to an Everton player under no pressure, and just that we didn't take it. If we'd have had Vardy yesterday, we'd have won that about 3-0, because in the first half alone he gave the ball to Richarlison twice. He just started delayed and didn't get a shot away. But if we'd have had 3 up there narrow, I think we'd have caused them loads of problems.
And I think something has to change up there, because again we've got no threat. We had 2 shots on target,
17 attempts at goal. It's woeful. 2 on target.
It's woeful. We don't create chances. I've said this for 2 months. We don't create chances. We just pass it round.
We put 30 crosses in yesterday. I was obviously I was in a different seat yesterday, so I was further along in the Bullens, above the away fans. And the amount of time we got in the final third, right? And you could see that the penalty area was wide open for anyone to make a run. Dean got in 3 times, nobody moved. Everyone just stood there next to a player, and you're like, what's he supposed to do? He put 3 balls in that. If we'd have had any kind of movement, we'd have scored from him. Nobody moved. Calvert-Lewin just stood watching. Walcott didn't show any kind of movement at all. Richarlison, when he wasn't throwing himself on the floor, was stood about a yard away from. Gylfi was just ambling into that. And you're like, you're never going to score a goal. These are defenders who like to defend. Evans and Maguire love to defend. You've got to pull them around and move. I mean, there was nothing. And you're thinking, would a Tosin have made a difference from the off? I don't know, but that's clearly where we are at the moment as a team. That is the area we have to go and get a centre forward, because Nias isn't good enough. We saw that the other day.
Well, we seen Vardy in this game. We've seen the difference of having a centre forward
who hadn't had the sniff, by the way.
No, but a centre forward that is you're right about what Dominic Calvert-Lewin has. I said it myself in the aftermath. You've got to make 10 runs over the top, and only if
you'll get 1 ball.
If you get 1 ball over the top, Dominic Calvert-Lewin is as fast as anyone in the Premier League, right? But you never ever see him stretching centre backs. You never ever. Whereas Vardy, someone who's been doing it for years, someone who's been doing it in the lower leagues for years. He just the minute anyone puts a ball over the top, defenders just panic. Yeah. They panic because he runs into such good areas, and it's not with Vardy. It's not just about his pace; it's about where he runs. He's got such intelligent running because he's had to learn that over the years playing in. He's learned by playing in non-league that running in the right areas with pace probably got him through all the time.
Oh, of course, yeah.
And the thing that's come on in the Premier League is his finishing. His first year, he couldn't hit a barn door, but since then, his finishing has come along leaps and bounds, and that's where for me Dom has got to start making those runs. If he wants to play, that's where the manager has got to say, in games like this, you've got to start playing on the shoulder and start running the line and start just offering yourself. And if it doesn't come, it doesn't come, but he's got to start doing those runs. Otherwise, what's the point of him? When he comes off and Dom's weird because with all that pace, he actually likes to be a link player. He likes to come short.
His touch is good.
He likes to come short, get it, and almost get it back and spin. But at times in games like this, he's got to occupy the centre backs, and he's only young, but it's something he's got to start doing. He's had enough games now as a Premier League centre forward that he's got to start demanding that ball and start saying to them, "I'm going to go. You start looking. If there's nothing on, stop fucking just giving it back to Gordon Pickford and start looking to get me, and I'll get as high." Fucking Andy Johnson was the fucking king of it, right? He would just make a run, and he'd either win you a corner or a free kick or a throw in, and he'd get the whole team 40 yards up the pitch, and Moyes loved him for it. And the amount of times I remember we nicked games or we won something, ended up scoring because he would. It's a big thing in a game, and I feel like there's times where some managers or some teams feel like that's too cheap. The old man is, well, we're not going to have set pieces kind of idea of football. Yeah, exactly. Like, we would never dare do that, and I just don't think we have got enough of that.
But what there's nothing wrong with passing it around, all lovely triangles, and then mixing it with a banger through, because then. Look, I look at the top two sides, and Liverpool are top at the moment. So you look at Liverpool, they ain't afraid for Van Dijk to hit 70 yards for Salah to run into. The amount of goals they score, a long ball, great touch goal, and you're like, why has no one picked that up? Then they'll pass it on. City do it with Sterling. They pull you in and just go bang.
Well, isn't that the idea? Isn't the idea that you pass it and bring them out, and then when you've brought them out, you give one over the top?
Well, allegedly, yeah.
Isn't that the point? Isn't that you draw?
I said to you before. Like, my missus was there yesterday because obviously my boy was one of the mascots, and she doesn't know anything about football. She doesn't watch football. She doesn't even like football, right? But she sat there yesterday, and I said to her, "What were your observations then after the game?" And she was like, "Well, Everton just pass it from one side to the other, then pass it back to the goalie." And this is someone who doesn't know football. So they never look like they were ever going to score a goal. And I was like, fair enough, yeah, because you don't know anything about it, and you just see him with fresh eyes. All of our problems. They said Luka Dean just runs up and down all day long, doesn't he, in that Bernard, but no one else seems to run. You're like, yeah, they're not. And the other one, what she said, and I was Richarlison's always on the floor. And I was like, fuck, you literally could be getting money from Sky because you just said more intelligent stuff than Redknapp's ever said. But Dom should be doing that, and that I think with Dominic Calvert-Lewin, he annoys me because I really like him and I can see that he's got something. But too many games go by where his kit's just clean, and you're going, this is your chance. This is Everton. That we're without a real Tosin, who paid a lot of money for, can't get on the pitch. Comes on as a sub at best. Richarlison's getting moved. This is your opportunity to go, you know what? I'm grabbing this, and I'm going to take it by the scruff of the neck. And I think if we should be turning him. It's Johnny Evans he was up against. For Christ's sake, he should have been.
That's where Vardy loves it, though, doesn't he? Vardy run round yesterday because he probably knew all that game that he was going to get one chance. And
well, it was 3 times we give it the out, and he was in. Zuma and Ghana twice, otherwise he was in.
But every time, he loves it because he knows that the more. But it's cause and effect, isn't it? Every time you put a defender under pressure, you're putting it into their mind.
Don't make a mistake.
And that leads to With Michael Keane, that's what generally leads to every mistake he ever makes.
What was frustrating yesterday with Michael Keane was he played really well, and then one mistake, well, two mistakes, because it come from 50 pence set, which was embarrassing, that header by Walcott. But just the first half, there was, I think Everton, the possession in the attempt shows you that Everton were the better side. But when I say better, I mean Everton were the shittest, the least shittest.
We were a little bit more snappy than them in the challenge, and we were winning the ball.
But we looked like we could create a bit more without No, but what I mean is, we were the team that was in.
Isn't that the big problem for the manager though? That's got to be the number one problem. That is, we've got all these creative players and we don't create anything. That's got to be the biggest problem, hasn't it? You know, in those games.
John Joe scored.
I don't see.
John looked.
No, but you know what? I actually, when he hit it, and this is not a criticism of the lad, is that when he hit it, he looked like he hit it without any hope of actually scoring.
No conviction.
He didn't think. He didn't think that he was ever going to score. And when he hit the post, it was almost like, oh,
I went close.
Yeah. No, but we've got all those creative players on the pitch. Yeah, we don't create anything. That's the paradox of it. How do you solve that as a manager? The manager's got to, and that's what annoys me most about this team, is that I look at it and just think, do you know, if we had a Kale in there, we'd be in the top 6. Do you know what I mean? Like if we had, or even,
if we had Rom.
Would I have Rom?
No, said if we had Rom.
Oh, if we had Rom, mate, we'd be top 6 easy.
Do you think?
Oh, easy. It's a different mindset with a player like that.
Yeah.
You are, and it's the same with
getting the ball.
It's the same with Vardy, though. It's the same with Vardy. You're saying it's with a player like Vardy up front. I remember when we lost Rom, and I can't remember where it came from, but I remember someone saying, and we were losing games, and they were saying, well, why aren't someone said, it's not the goals you've lost from losing Romelu Lukaku, it's the idea now that an opposition team comes to play against you and plays 10 yards further up the pitch because they know they're not playing against Romelu Lukaku. You haven't got Romelu Lukaku. And it's that mindset, and it's that mindset of playing against Vardy now. The lad, fair play to him, has created this
aura.
Yeah, in him. That when you play against him, you're terrified to make a mistake because you know his work rate means that if he will seize on any mistake, and he did yesterday. One chance, it was a lovely. To be fair, it was a lovely little knock actually for him to get onto it. But once he was through,
he scored below me, and the minute he faced up, I thought, well, he scored. Yeah. I just knew he was going to score. And that's what top strikers do. They get one opportunity, and this is what people can't understand when you're talking about centre forwards. You've got goals in them. The top players win you games like that, and we can have players who run in like Dominic Calvert-Lewin, but when I'm saying he ain't good enough to lead us yet, he's not, because he hasn't, because a good centre fireworks would be in there.
Ice in the veins, mate.
But it's even been in the right place. Romelu Lukaku would have scored yesterday from Bernard's cross, because he'd have been a yard off the line ready to turn it in. Good centre forwards who get goals want to rob goals off players. He tried to rob Tom Davies' goal against City. That's what they do, because they want goals. Now, okay, he's lost his way a little bit at United for whatever reason, right? And Rashford's better than him at the moment, and I know he scored at the weekend, the 4th goal or whatever it was, but he's lost his way a little bit. But when he was at Everton in prime, if you'd have been able to put a few of these players round him, we would have gone.
But that's why Richarlison isn't the answer for me. Is because I don't see that in him. And he might get it, but and you're probably right, he is probably the best centre forward we've got, but he hasn't got that, and Cenk Tosun certainly hasn't got it. Cenk Tosun hasn't got the conviction. I don't think he's ever had the conviction to do that, to say I'm going to score, and it might just be, but that's
he did it for Besiktas though, you know.
But I think that
watch his goal. But I think the pace is
that comes from self-doubt though, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Top strikers don't have any self-doubt.
No doubt.
There's a because what they do is, but Vardy might play games where he doesn't think that he's going to score, but he doesn't give off that impression, because as long as he's working hard, he knows he's going to force a mistake.
For me, he's unique, Vardy. Really,
he's old school.
The way he is, he's unique. He's had to work for everything coming through the way he's come through. He doesn't mind giving you a bit. He doesn't mind having a bit of battle with you. He doesn't mind if he doesn't get any chances in the game. But if he runs you up a blind alley, You see what he's like, mate. I just watched him yesterday and just thought, I'd love him. I would love him down up front.
I think his time has come. But there are other players like that in the Premier League. It must be. There's 2 at Bournemouth. For me, who are that kind of ilk. But you know what? Everton are weird because I do think that we're in between. We could have someone up front who people might class as a yard dog, but that would bring out maybe what we need in the other players, a platform to build off. And I just don't think we've got someone at the moment.
I just think we need goals.
Kevin Davis would do the job for us, mate.
Imagine. We need it. We've got to get more of a threat. It might be literally the thought that this lad through the middle is going to score. So therefore, we have to worry about him, and that frees up a little bit. We've got to get goals from Bernard. He's got everything else, but he doesn't have any goals. That's not good enough. He's got to start scoring. The one at Brighton the other day when he skinned the lad, he should have just took his time and he didn't. Walcott, go and look at the least goals he scored for Arsenal. I'm sure it was 12. And he played in the right, and he's getting opportunities. Where is he? Why isn't he on double figures?
He's dropped off a cliff.
But that might simply be he needs to be.
It's annoying because the Lookman situation is with him being out.
We need Walcott.
He would have been in there.
Well, Lookman would have been in over this period. So
do you think, though? You mentioned it before. Do you think that the manager should be looking to say, how do we get the best out of Theo Walcott? Is it central? Do we play him at the central, or we look to say, you know what? Actually, what's been our best performance in the last 2 months? Burnley away. Do we look to that and go, let's play 3 at the back?
Stick with 3 at the back.
Play 3 at the back. Play high full backs, which it would suit any of them that we've got.
Yeah, it would. Yeah.
And say this is what we're doing, and it's going to get more out of Walcott, more out of Bernard. Striker's going to have someone with him, whoever it is, whether it be Dom, whether it be with Richarlison. Probably shoot with Richarlison having a 3 that are closer.
It even suits Tosin. I'm not saying you should play him.
But you're right because
you'd have to shoot people by him, and then maybe it's time to go. You know what? I haven't got all of the players I want to play the way I really want to play. So let's make, and this is where you're right with the manager. This is where he needs to earn his money now. He's got good players. He hasn't. The problem with Everton is these players aren't consistent, and that's the real issue. Everton have got, and I'll say it again, and whether people agree or disagree, you've got the top 6. I don't think we're miles away from United, other than their front players are much better than what we've got because they've got goals in them. The rest of the team, apart from the goalkeeper, I think the rest are not much of a muchness. After that, you've got Everton, Leicester, Watford, Wolves, possibly West Ham. Well, not West Ham and Brighton, and maybe Brighton, right? Who could finish 7 to 13, and all of them will drop down to consistency. Right, that's what it will come.
We've seen that over Christmas.
West Ham have had some great results, and we spanked Burnley by 5, and they go and get beat at Burnley 3 days later. So
Leicester beat City and Chelsea,
get beat
by Cardiff, and then come and beat us.
Well, that's it. So you've got, that's the thing. That's what you get over. Tottenham get beat 3-1 at home to Wolves, and then go to Cardiff, who won at Leicester and beat them at a canter. Haven't beat Everton and Bournemouth, who were better sized than friggin'. You've got all of that, whereas the teams like Liverpool who are consistent players turn up every week. They're just knocking teams out the park. And confidence. Everton at the moment have got 0 confidence. You can tell that by looking at them. Everything's going back to taking 2 touches now and it only needs 1. But he has to look at that team now, that squad, and go, you know what? It's not working for us now, so we're going to have to play this way. How's Yerry Mina ever going to get better? By playing, he can't play. I know, listen, he didn't have a good game at Brighton.
No, but I do generally feel, and people can say if I'm wrong or want to, and time will tell. I still think Yerry Mina is our best defender. Yeah. I really do.
And he's only going to get better by playing.
I know Zuma probably looks like a better defender, but I think Mina is the best defender we've got. And I look at that Burnley game, and I know, listen, circumstances fell for us really well that day because we scored early, and that just took everything out of them, and that gave us the platform to go from. But I look at that.
Still, I've never killed anyone like that.
But I just looked at that performance and I just thought, and everything clicked into place on Boxing Day. The three at the back were magnificent. The two wing backs went forward well. Gylfi and Gomez played well. Everything just, the two players, Bernard was fantastic. Theo had a decent game. Everything just clicked into place, and I was thinking, is that not the best performance we've had? So therefore, should we not be sticking with that? And I know 3 days later we go to Brighton,
but he changed it.
He changed it because he brought Garner in and took Gylfi out, and Gylfi playing that deeper role was playing. He put
Richarlison up front.
Yeah, so it wasn't the team, and also it's a game in quick proximity to that last game. I just think that might be the solution going forward. It mightn't be the long term idea, but I think at times you've got to go, you know what? Because this is the other thing, right? I know we haven't changed loads of players, but we have changed players in the last few games, like, one in, one out sort of thing. If you're changing players and formations, it doesn't make it easy for them. In games, also, by the way, when you get no time to prepare, you're basically going, yeah, lads, these do this, 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 and this. Whereas normally it's Saturday to Saturday. You've got all week to prepare. You're looking at all the intricacies of what they do and how you're going to beat them. They do this off set pieces. They do that. This is how we're going to beat them with this formation. He does this job. He does that job. Watch any football documentary and look at all. Maybe not the Sunderland one. How they break teams down and how much homework goes into it. Over Christmas, it's just like, lads, get out there and we haven't even had time to wash the kit.
Well, it was like
that's why we're playing in 3 different kits over Christmas.
Like last season when Unzert was in, wasn't it? There was no time for him to coach.
No,
because it was literally game recover. Yeah, and that's what it's like. And that's why the Brighton thing annoyed me, because he made changes for the sake of it. I think he should have just gone with the same team again, or maybe if Gomez was tired, put Garner in, fine, but I think he should have left Dom up front, because that was the game for me. Said to the Richarlison, you've done well when you come on at Burnley and scored a goal. Rest again, because New Year's Day you're up front against Leicester. At home you're going to take them apart. So you come on here last 20-25, left Dom up there, gone for it. But maybe now we just need to lick our wounds and go, it's been a terrible run. It has. 1 win in 8 or something, whatever it is.
Well, listen, Baz, we said before December, we came into December and we said this month will define where we were. We came into December thinking that we could challenge for 6th and possibly 5th, right?
And we can't.
We can't. We're not in that now. We know where we are. We're in that middle section.
We've got to try and finish.
And we've got to try and finish 7th. That's what we've got to try. And that's, listen, we can't sit here. We can't sit here though and say, we should be beating this team and that team and that team. We shouldn't, because it's clearly not in us.
We've played Huddersfield, West Ham, Watford, Newcastle and Leicester at home, and haven't beaten any of them. And I'd have said that's 15 points. We haven't beaten a single one of them.
No.
And 2 of them have beaten us. And it's like, so unless we are capable of beating one of the top 6 at home, which we are capable of, with a week's rest and everyone on it, of course we're capable of it. Can we? I don't know. I would never say we will, but we're certainly capable of beating Arsenal at home. Seems like that.
We've got to start digging in.
Got to do.
That's our biggest problem.
We still don't look like we've got any leaders, which is why I would have Yerry Mina in there, because anything else, he looks like he's ready for the fight. Okay, he didn't have a great game at Brighton, but I honestly think he could have took any of the 3 centre-backs off that day. 3 of them were shite. Or not shite, but the 3 of them were just flat. I don't think anyone's been terrible. I think everyone's just flat. I think that's the key, and whether that's probably fatigue. Like, changing it all up doesn't help, and this game was just a further example of that. I just think the other thing I think as well, we're all guilty of it, is we need to just look at the bigger picture, I suppose, and go, it's not about now, is it? It'd be lovely to be flying and be 4th or 5th and all that, but we're not. So we have to look at it and go, right, we finished 8th last season. Don't know how, but we did. We got 8th. Probably because we have better players than everyone else. And we still have got better players than a lot of teams, so hopefully we'll grind out wins. But that comes first, to being able to grind. Like that yesterday. Could we go somewhere, score after an hour and hold on, win 1-0?
But we've just been beaten by 2 sides that we should have, that on the day we should have beat. we should be beating them because we're better. But on the day, we should have beat. And you know, the chances we had first half against Brighton, you know,
even second half, the Charleston, it's the post, Zuma, it's the bar. You know, they're two sitters for me.
Well, you're right. We go somewhere and be dominated and go and nick a goal.
And hold out.
And funny enough, that I think that, you know, we went to West Brom New Year's Day with Moyes and beat them 1-0 on a Chaby.
Something like that.
You know, like that.
Being able to go and nick it and go and hang on and dig in and be smashing it everywhere and go, all right, we've got away with that 1-0. We don't have that. If we win, it's because we dominated and we've got the win, and that's what. Can we get a couple of them? Yes, it'll get better once the games go back to one a week, but that's not what football's about, because if you're going to be successful, you have games every 3 days, and it's can you be on it every few days. At this set of players, can't. They proved it. So what do we do? At the end of the day, better players make the better team.
Also, though, I wouldn't just say better players. That's a learning curve for the manager as well.
Yeah.
The manager has to learn how to handle these games and how to manage these games. And I think personally, I think he's done it very poorly over Christmas.
Well, very poorly. Still, that doesn't mean we replace him.
No.
Because I'm not saying you're saying it. I'm saying what I'm saying.
You should be able to criticise the manager without going at the end of the sentence, he needs to go. Yeah. But you should be able to say,
listen, no one's above. Someone messaged me today, I'll put it on because at the text saying just read this DM for me, blah blah blah. So I went on and I was having a look at people messaging me, and someone was like, because I'd said the other day, like, stop this silver out nonsense. Someone was like, are we not allowed to criticise him? Fucking criticise him, yeah. He is a bit to blame, they're all to blame. That's not going well, but he's not solely to blame. You can't keep removing managers every few months. We've just had, we're on to our fucking 4th manager in a year or in 2 years or something. Let's get a grip. Let's leave someone in place and go, look.
What difference would it make if we change the like, just literally, what difference would it make if we change the manager now? It would make no difference. For me, I look at the manager in exactly the same way I look at Jordan Pickford. I look at him and go,
loads of potential.
Brilliant on his day.
Makes
mistakes. Sometimes he makes mistakes that cost his games a footy. But I'm hoping if he keeps his head, there's only one way he's going to go. But time will tell. You're not going to say, no one's saying to me now, well, let's drop Jordan Pickford for Stecklenburg because he's made a couple of mistakes. They're not the same. You know what? He's a good goalkeeper and he's just got to get through. And all this will make him better. And I hope that's the same with the manager.
The last couple of games hasn't been nothing to do with Pickford.
No, I know. But that's sort of the way I look at it. Yeah. That's the way I look at it.
He's 41 years of age. He's a young manager. He's already won stuff. He's proven he can win trophies. He's proven he can build a team. He's done it with fucking Braga. Was it Braga? He done it with
Braga, and Olympiacos.
Olympiacos, brilliant. No, Estoril, not Braga. Estoril. But he is a different kettle of fish. It's difficult. There's a lot of games. There's no break. You don't get a minute. There's a lot of pressure. But some Everton fans, and I understand why, because we've got we're literally beaten down from so long, so we need it now, and it's magnified.
I'll tell you why.
It's magnified.
It's in that room in there.
I know it's magnified. That's all. By that.
Well, it is bad because at the end of the day, right? If they didn't exist, right? They would be.
Life would be great.
It would be great. There'd be no pressure on any Everton manager to do anything. There wouldn't. There'd be no pressure. Everton fans would just be like, whatever. You know what I mean? All right, we'd have some other rival, but there would be no pressure. But with them and the way they're going, we've seen it last year. 50% of what happened last year was because they were going into the Champions League. Everything just gets heightened and heightened and heightened and heightened because it's that fear you have. People might disagree with me, but I'm adamant on this. If they weren't doing so well, Everton fans would be like, this is alright, there's no pressure. But it's that added pressure, knowing that you've got... Let's be honest, they're going to win the bleeding thing. It's that thing of, though, it's that added heightened pressure of, because they're doing well, it makes everything what we do, it amplifies, what magnifies, because it allows them to sit on their high horse and go, we're amazing, you's a shit. Yeah, when we were finishing 7th and they were finishing 8th, Evertonians weren't going, this is the worst thing ever in the world. It was just like, we're finishing above you. And everyone was made up. But we were still finishing like 7th. But, you know, is that acceptable for Everton? No. I mean, but, you know, do you know what I mean? It's just that everything gets heightened and instead of going, we're all just fine.
No, but it is that. Of course, it's that because it's the Aldic measurements things, isn't it? But it's also the fact that we haven't won anything for a while. So every year that pressure gets.
I don't even think some of our fans care about that. I really don't. That's the sad part.
Some don't, but I do.
No, I do.
A lot do. And every year that goes by, we seem to be writing seasons off for Christmas now and going, all right, but next year, and you're like, but. It's not like we've had the same management team for years and it's fallen down at the same hurdle every year. We've got to go, we're going to have to breathe and go, what's the bigger plan here? Look at his first season for them. He took over, they were 8th. He finished the season, they were 8th. All right, they got to 2 cup finals, they lost a pair of them. Essentially in the Premier League, he didn't improve them. But he did because he got to this summer and went, he's not good, we need a better one of him, a better one of him, a better one of him. The next season, he was still getting criticised then. Phone, radio things, get rid of him, he hasn't got a clue. This is what happens with fans. Everything.
And he still hasn't won anything?
He still hasn't won anything. I still hear Spurs fans the other week when he lost a couple of games go and get rid of him. Get rid of him, and you're like, are you fucking insane? But there'll be a point when it gets to him where if he doesn't win something, you would go, well...
And don't get me wrong, listen, that's by the by, Everton have to come out of this game now. Going to the cup game on Saturday.
You've got to turn up on Saturday.
Got to turn up against
the fear is.
No, I know.
What team he picks.
And then they have to turn it round. It's as simple as that. They've got to get a default setting to win games. And the manager has to start. Also, I think going into the second half of the season, the manager now has to say, right, this is the way this is what I'm looking for all the time. And I think he's got to be a little bit more ruthless with how he approaches.
Well, for me, there's 17 games left. I expect us to win 8 of them. That's what I'm expecting at this moment in time. That's only going to give us 51 points, which is shite. But I'm expecting at least half wins and a couple of draws in that. And then maybe the other games a flip of a coin then when we play the big sides. But we've got to start winning football matches. We've got home games against Bournemouth and teams like this. We've got another couple of ones which you'd say are winnable. I'm saying it like that because I would have said these last 3 have been winnable. Sorry, 3 of the last 4 we haven't won any of them. So, when you're looking at Bournemouth and Wolves, to me they're winnable football matches. And then it's can you beat Arsenal at home? Can you beat Liverpool at home? Can you go away then to some other places and beat, Bournemouth, Wolves and Burnley at home have got to be wins, must wins for me. And then can we go away to some of these mid-table clubs who are around us and a bit lower? Can we go to Newcastle and beat them? Can we go to West Ham and get a result, a big game? Can we go to Fulham and turn them over, and Huddersfield and beat them? And if we can, then we will finish 7th. And then we can go, right, okay, but wasn't a great season, but we've learnt about him and him. We've had a good transfer window. The manager's got that under his belt now. Right, how can we kick on? It's going to take a bit of time, but we've also got to be able to recognise some improvement.
Of course.
There's always going to be an element of criticism because there has to be. That's the way it is. We're always going to criticise. That's what football fans. We want it. We want us to be top of the league. We want us to be winning trophies. So the element of criticism will be there, but everyone has got to get better together. And us as a fan base have got to get better. We've got to make Goodison Park horrible to come to.
Yeah, but it is horrible to come to.
But that's for us.
I
mean, for a away team. But we need something back as well. And the manager, as long as the manager and Marcel Brands know where they're going and stick to it, with us as fans, it's our job to go, let's get behind them and see. People are losing their heads going, didn't want them anyway. Knew this had happened. Well, you knew what had happened. We're still we'd have been 7th if we'd have won yesterday. If we'd have beat Brighton on Saturday, we'd have been 7th by a few points. So if we'd have won Brighton and Leicester, we'd have been well 7th, and everyone would have been going, that's ours now.
We've got to...
Is that not an improvement?
What we've got to do now is we've got to get ourselves back in a run, like we were before. Before the derby, we've got to get ourselves in a bit of a run. Start winning games of football.
The next 5, dare I say it, are all winnable before we have Man City at home, right? I'm not saying we're going to win them. I'm just saying they are winnable games, so to speak. So
the games we've got to turn up. The games we've got to turn up for.
Can we get on a run? Can we go away and grind a win out? Can we go and win 2-1 somewhere, Southampton or something, and go? Yeah, we can, and we come away. We'll have to see.
Hopefully, we'll see what happens. Anyway, very disappointing performance to start.
Disappointing.
To start 2000. Oh, shite.
Christmas was great, but football-wise, Jesus, wasn't good. Again.
The life of an Evertonian, mate.
It is mad, isn't it? Yeah, you had it encapsulated within 3 days, didn't you? Boxing Day to... Well, no, a week. Tottenham, spank. Burnley, brilliant. Brighton, shite. And then Leicester's just gone. There's the cherry on the top.
There's the stone you put on over Christmas. Right there.
Come on. Yeah.
Alright, let us know your thoughts in the comments. Have you pressed the panic button yet? Or are you just like, it'll be alright. We're learning. And should we bring anyone in January?
Yes.
That's a discussion for another day.
It is.
Let us know. We'll see you later.